Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Chris, Bonafide Hustler, coming to you live from outdoors, my garage, well, actually, my driveway. This isn't the bike video like I promised, because on Friday I actually came across a really cool pick, and I spent about 120 bucks. I'm going to risk 20 to make about $300 to $600 out of this pick. And I thought this was really important to show you guys right now what it looks like pre-cleaned before it goes out to market. This is the kind of stuff I'm looking for, and you had to see this before this bike video update. This is important, and all you hustlers out there that are looking for like vintage things, I'm about to show you two good things here, two primary deals that I love. And one of them is old bottles, and the other one is like old license plates. And this pick that I did on Friday was full of that stuff. So we're going to take a look at this stuff right now, and I'm going to show you what it looks like pre-cleaned and before it goes to market. Alright, so let's take a look. First box. Here we go. We have a lot of cool stuff. When you're looking at old bottles, guys, you want to look at, you need to know the difference between what's like a dairy bottle right here. These are old dairy bottles. This one's Clover Gold from Michigan. I believe it's Michigan. Something like that. Bunch of these old little dairy bottles. People love this stuff for projects, things for their house. Gotta look for that kind of stuff. And then, of course, look for old soda stuff, like old 7-Up. Beautiful green glass bottle right here. Dirty as hell. But we haven't even cleaned it yet. So, when you want to get it to market and you want to make a lot of money, clean them. Alright? Old green glass Coke bottles right there. Pretty amazing. You know, the reason why I said I'm going to make about 300 to 600 on this entire pick is that I can do some things in like small bulk, like maybe all the green glass Coke things to a customer, or maybe, you know, all of these blue glass things or all these dairy things, and it'll make me about 300 bucks. But if I choose to go individually through all this stuff, take the time to clean it right and put it into the right markets, I could be making around 6, maybe more. Okay, so but that's individually, takes a little bit more time. But as a hustler, you need to judge your time. Is it worth doing that kind of stuff? Let's go back into this box and take a look. Old Mason's root beer right there. This is really cool. Of course, when this is cleaned up, it might be worth anywhere between 5 and 20 bucks. I don't know until I see the condition later. Of course, the green glass Coke bottles. This is actually a really, really good condition. I mean, this is like spanking new. Amazing looking Coke bottle right there, guys. I love this one. This is a new Grape Soda right here, and I don't know what this new grape stuff tastes like, and I would assume that the logo was going to be purple, but this is really cool. I mean, back then this is what people drank out of, and the bottles are significantly heavier than glass bottles today that you see in America. So collectible stuff, dudes. And there's a bunch of like old little bottles in here, maybe perfume, some apothecary kind of stuff, things that were medicine related. You're gonna see a lot of these little things in the pick. And these are old Phillips Milk of Magnesia bottles. They come in several different sizes. So this is more of a, I think, a smaller one in kind of like my Hustler book. The bigger ones are down there, but look for these things, because when they're fully cleaned up, they're beautiful and people want these things. They can sell anywhere between like 5 to maybe 30 bucks on eBay. All right, these things right here. And some more green glass Coke bottles. And something else. This is like rainbow glass, I believe, because it has a weird kind of like shimmery oil looking thing to it. I don't know if you guys can see that in the reflection. It's kind of like a rainbow every time it spins. It's really cool. Let's go to the box number 2 here. And the box number 2 looks a lot like box number 1, but there are some differences, guys. But let's take a look. Here's an old Canada Dry bottle right here. Really cool, not cleaned. Will look really good when it's actually cleaned. We have things like Upper 10, which looks like a lime lemon soda. I've never had it, but beautiful bottle. When it's clean, it's gonna go to market and make 10 to 20 bucks. And of course, look at all the blue stuff you see here. Milk of Magnesia, Phillips Milk of Magnesia bottles. This is actually in really good condition. It's almost all the way clean. Of course, there's still some stuff in there, but this is what you're looking for. I mean, people will pay 20 bucks on eBay for something like this in this condition. More dairy stuff. You can take a look. This is Baker's Dairy from Paw Paw, Michigan. Beautiful, uncleaned. We have some things that might have been, I don't know, liquor or wine. I have no idea, but this is that rainbow glass. It's got that cool shimmer to it. We have stuff like an old wine bottle, really old. Don't know what kind of wine this was, but the bottle is really, really recessed. You can see that. So it's beautiful. We have things like old Pepsi bottles. Alright, really cool. Things like these old insulator caps. This has nothing to do with actual liquids or dairy or milk of magnesia or soda. This has to do with electricity. These were caps that were on top of power lines and this and that. These are really cool and very, very high demand. You can probably charge anywhere between 20 and like 40 bucks for these things if they're in really good uncracked condition. So this is an example of an uncracked condition, really good looking one. And there are a bunch in here, so that's probably $100 just in those insulator caps already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6, but this one's chipped, so I don't know about that one. But yeah, I'm not gonna complain when 5 are in there. Now, in this box is kind of interesting. It does look the same. A lot of green Coke bottles that are uncleaned. There's a new grape, Mason's root beer. Really cool foreign Coke bottle right there. Awesome. Of course, here's what a dairy one looks like when it's fully cleaned up. It's beautiful. Alright, a bunch of these milk of magnesia things. And I told you I would show you guys like what a large one looks like. This is a really big one. So this is probably 20 bucks on eBay right here. Fully cleaned. This is actually in really good shape already, but I gotta clean it some more. And of course, you'll know it's Phillips milk and magnesia bottle because on the bottom or the front, they're gonna have Phillips on there. Okay. We have an old, antique. I don't know if this is an antique so much, but this just looks like a liquor bottle of some sort. What I want to show you guys is this uncleaned blue glass ball mason jar with a zinc top. When you see these things with a zinc top and they're blue, anything ball mason jar is going to be worth a lot of money, especially if it's vintage. Okay, we're talking anywhere between 15 to 30 bucks a jar in really good condition. The zinc ones are very highly sought after, and that's what a zinc top looks like right there, guys. So it's awesome. All right, so let's go. I think that's pretty much it. Here's some old Pepsi stuff, really cool. And a sunrise beverage thing right there. These are beautiful, beautiful things. Probably gonna be like 10 to 20 bucks each one of those bottles. And we've gone through a lot of bottles, but guess what? More bottles. Here we go. Let's talk about this box right here. Lots of blue glass, lots of milk of magnesia. And when the milk of magnesia stuff is fully cleaned up, it looks like that. All right. This is really, really, really cool stuff. And it's about, I don't know, this one, 20 to 30 bucks all day long online. Got stuff like a fully clean ball mason jar right here. This one's awesome. Without the zinc top, it's somewhere around here, but that's what you're looking for. When it's fully cleaned up, this is how you bring it to market. It needs to look like this. It's just happened to be cleaned in the box. But old Pepsi stuff, really old Pepsi stuff. I like this one a lot. I don't even know if I'm gonna sell this one. I love this one. We got stuff like old dairy stuff right here. Much larger than the ones I showed you, but when this is fully cleaned up, this is gonna be in somebody's house with a rose coming out the top or some flowers. This is perfect stuff for projects or just putting, floral stuff in. And a little bit smaller, genuine mason jar. I don't know if this is a ball, but it's got a zinc top. Really, really cool. We gotta clean this one up. So you can kind of see, you can bind all the mason jars together, maybe charge like 80 to 100 bucks. Or you can clean each and every one of them up and make like 20 each, and there are a bunch in this pick. So let's go over here. Here's a milk crate right here, old school milk crate, and it's got some bottles in here, some old Coke bottles in there. Looks like old Barg's root beer. Everyone knows what Barg's root beer is, and this is what it looked like back in the day. Got to clean it up to make it look good and bring it to market. Zinc top ball mason jar, really awesome condition. The zinc top, it's getting oxidized and faded. There's really no cleaning you can do on these things on the top, but they're in high demand because they're the zinc tops. We have an old Coke can back in the day. Really, really cool, but it's been rusty, so I don't know, 5 or 10 bucks maybe for something like this. All right, let's switch gears from like drink stuff and bottles and this and that. Let's go into like the really cool stuff of the pick right here. We got a LED bus sign from like maybe the 70s or 80s, and this right here, the reason why he has this is because he actually was part of the traffic authority here in this town back in the 70s or 80s, I believe. That's what he told me. So this was an experimental bus sign right here. It runs off 120, so it's cool. They were messing with LEDs even before we were today, and it's beautiful. Someone's gonna love this thing. This might be worth $50 to $100 alone. And then we got the old license plates. Whenever you deal with old license plates, condition is everything, and if you can pair something up, that's even better. What I mean by pairs is that if you get a pair like this is worth an absolute fortune. Okay, this is 1952, condition very good, and it's a pair. So this is going to go to market. It's probably going to be the most expensive thing in this entire like license plate pick. But take a look in here and look how many plates there are here. Some are in pretty poor condition, but there are a lot in very good condition, and they span anywhere from like 1950s all the way to like the 70s. So these are in high demand. And like I said, when you pair this stuff up, then that's when you make big bucks. Pair it up, make sure it's old, and the older it is and the pairs that you have in the better condition, now you're talking serious cash. Somewhere in here was a kind of a messed up 1911 plate, but there are a bunch of really awesome plates in here. If I can locate that 1911 one, this is something interesting. Had this been in better shape, this probably would have been worth $140 alone. But in its present condition, it's probably worth like 10 to 30. But this is porcelain, okay? And there's 1911 right there. So the older you get on these license plates, the better they're going to be. But this is old school stuff. It's just a pity that this one, I think he told me he found this one in a field, in a muddy field, when he was really little. So it's a pity, but there are a lot of cool plates in here. There are about 30 solid good plates in this pick, and each plate will sell anywhere between $5 and I don't know, maybe $40. So I love license plates. If you paid attention to video number 1, I really like pearl snap shirts a lot. You can get them for dirt cheap. But these plates, you can really get them for dirt cheap if you find the right kind of person that wants to liquidate it. Last thing right here, guys, is some sort of like oil or gas kind of deal. Looks pretty cool. Someone's gonna want this in their garage or classic car restoration place. It looks really awesome. That's the last thing in the pick. So if you do like these videos, give me a thumbs up and comment. But this is a classic example of how bottles and license plates, $120 for all this stuff, guys. You risk 20 bucks. You can make 300 on the low end. You can make 600 if you take your time and just clean this stuff up right. So if you like these videos, comment, thumbs up. I'll talk to you guys soon. Next video, bikes.